Shalom. First and foremost, I'll give all praise to our boy. How about Shemel Shai? Washam Makakadash. Call Harame. How about Shemel Shai? Washam Makakadash. That's in the ancient Hebrew, saying all praises to Yahweh in the name of Shai, in the name of the Spirit. Yahweh is the correct name for the God of the Bible, who the world ignorantly called Jehovah, God, or Yahweh. His son's true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. True name for the God of the Bible in the Hebrew is Yahweh, son's true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. I want to give the honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. In Shalom to all our brothers and Modi, pushing this word in sincerity and in truth. To all I believe in this gospel. Shalom. There's that from Camp Genius, Jamaica, and this lesson, going to be a prophecy update. Right? There's we know Revelation as we bring it out. So like the 10 horns are going to hit the war. And of course the war referring to America, 10 horns referring to the European Union. But in order to that happen, of course, America has to do things to create that hate. So we're lo and behold, another move, is made for that purpose, right? So here I have on routers.com, dated, I think today is the 9th, so this would have been yesterday, July 8, 2026. It says Trump orders halt to U.S. I don't need the internet anymore. Okay. Alright, so okay, I want to stop all notifications. Alright, so it says Trump orders all to US trade with Spain over NATO spending. You say Iran, alright? And I'm going to play the video as well. This is a short 39 minutes video. Let's get into it. Start from the top.
Cause we don't want to do any trade business with Spain anymore, by the way. I'd like you to cut it off. Spain is a terrible partner in NATO. They don't participate, they don't pay. I don't want anything to do with Spain. Cut off all trade with Spain, please, including visits. Okay, we don't want anything to do. Watch them come running back. Oh, they'll come running back. They treat this man terribly, and this man's a good man too, great man. They're lucky they have him.
As you said, watch them come running back. Which go back to one precept came to mind. Let's get it real quick. Which America has done its time. Nobody really give a fuck about them no more, sorry for my French. But they aren't feared like they once was. Right? As is written, as though become as weak as we. So what I say, seven, so okay, give me a minute. Start 19. Daniel 7 and 19 says, Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured, break in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet. and that's referring to the Roman Empire. It says fourth kingdom, fourth major kingdom that have reigned in the earth. Verse 20, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and the 10 horns referring to the European Union, right, and the League of Nations. It says, and the other which came up is referring to Babylon, right, which we won't go into more. It says, which is America, that is. It says, and before whom 3 fell. Now, how did America celebrate their independence? To what, roughly, to the 8th or the 9th, so a few days ago, 4 or 5, give or take, the 4th of July. And what did they get independence from? Britain, you know. And who did they have to fight even before Britain? Right, they had to fight the French, and they had to fight Spain, the Spaniards, you know. And that's whom was fell before them, because they basically overpowered them, right? Even after World War One, what happened? World War One, I think so. Yeah, I believe it World War One or two. You know, Britain had what's called the world reserve currency. It was a Britain pound. But afterwards, America gained that power. You know, they become the world superpower. Reading back 20 says, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that speak very great things. I swear even Trump playing that out even more so. When that man speak, yo, like for example, even today, he was speaking, or maybe yesterday, when he was, various, I'm not sure of the dates, but I came across a video today where Trump basically say the people of Iran are basically, savages. Seems that they basically use some word for demoralize them, yeah? Which, in my mind, I'll be like, is he referring to the gutter rats, the fake Jews? You know, because it really described them, more than them so-called Iranians, yeah? Right? But that show you, I know him talking shit against Spain. So, them basically worse partners, and they're going to come running back. You know, once you cut them off, that's him belittling people. Yes, yeah, them people ain't nobody, man. Now we have to just bully them. Easy, man, look how easy them going to come running back to us. Alright? It says, speak very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. Right, it says Luke was more stout than his fellows. Let's see how that sounds in the NLT. Daniel 7 verse 20 in NLT. It says, I also asked about the 10 horns on the 4th beast's head, and the little horn that came up afterward and destroyed 3 of the other horns. This horn had seemed greater than the others, and it had human eyes and a mouth that was boasting arrogantly. Saying they were really good, whose look was more stout than his fellow, But I go back to them, basically, bragging. They're portraying themselves like they are the best, and indeed America was the best at one point, but no longer, because the scripture says this. I'm going to go to Isaiah, because Iran basically a man angle them, which of course Iran is getting aid from China and Russia. That's the only reason why they can actually withstand Israel and America, because Iran alone wouldn't be able to do that shit. Isaiah 47 verse 1, it says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal, and cover thy locks, make bare the legs, and cover the thigh, pass over the rivers, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So Babylon, is basically being brought down. And ultimately, it's going to reach the point where even the European Union, which all of the actions we see America been doing to the earth, you're going to bring them to the point of, firing nukes on America, basically being tired of this war, all right, and bringing them to the predicament, or bringing the world to what it really is, which the scripture said, the least of the flock shall draw them out, right, bringing the world to a third world war, which not going to profit no country, Get this as well, Isaiah 14. This is Isaiah 14, Son of 4. It says that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. Right, we know again Mr. Babylon the Great would be America today. Right, and we were the king of Babylon, Trump. He's a puppet that him put in play. It says, and say, how had the oppressor seized, the golden city seized. The Lord had broken the staff of the wicked, and the scepter of the rulers. He will smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in hunger is persecuted and unhindered. And that's how sin basically being done. When them basically scripture refer to them as what among the earth, them go and pound every single body, even their allies. Because using these words against or speaking this against Spain, it's disrespect, because even when them running upon Iran, which is unjustly, according to them own international criminal court system, right? Spain basically say, we don't want to partner this war. England never want to partner, but then get bullied too. They get bad up and take it bad up. And other NATO countries, like for example, even the policies against Russia, it's actually damaging the European Union more than what it's basically doing to America. Actually, just trying to keep America afloat, right? And the country must see it and say this is not profitable. We don't see Russia as a threat like we are say, right? So basically, what going to happen is that the most I can put the spirit upon them to ultimately destroy America as the plague, the parasite, right? What bring the world in its current predicament, Says the whole earth is at rest and is quiet, they break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow is come up against us. Which this go happen here once America is brought down, the hammer had hurt. Because the other nations go, yeah, they will be in slavery. Yeah, but guess what? They'll see that, hey, nobody not go bomb them house and call them terrorists here and run in and rape them rifle, Right? Look at what the Gutterats over there been doing, to the so-called Palestinians. Right? We're not going to that. Yeah, we're them going to put in captivity, but things going to balance. Right? And after 1,000 years, them going to get them land. They'll be the subject, but we're not going to basically rape them wife, Pizza Gate, Epstein Island, all those bullshit. No. You see me? It says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It had raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Right, I know to a degree that is basically being said, because no, the country doesn't even have nuclear missiles too. As it's written, let the weak say, I am strong. At one point, Iran was weak, right? They ain't going to withstand America. Even at one point, even Russia, they have to basically, to some degree, accept defeat during the Cold War and then go back, and, prepare, which most I give them that spirit to prepare, for ultimately being able to defeat America today, right? So let's go back to the article. It says pointers. Trump previously made similar threat in March, but US-Spain trade continued normally. Spain, which these are pointers, says Spain says EU custom rules bar signaling out individual member states, which they don't give a shit. says PM Sanchez says Spain is a reliable NATO ally and U.S. trade ties very strong. Says U.S. Treasury comments Parliament USTR to give Trump menu of Spanish product to embargo, official says. Major U.S. investors enthusiastic about Spain. Says U.S. President Donald Trump on Wednesday ordered an immediate halt to all trade. So this would have been yesterday, to be Thursday. So today is actually 9th. It says an immediate halt to all trade with NATO ally Spain, escalating tensions over defense spending and the Iran war. Because basically Spain say, oh no, we know about this shit. It says despite European Union rules requiring trade negotiations to be conducted as a single bloc during a NATO summit in Ankara, Ankara, I believe, would that be which Ankara that again? I think that's in there. Turkey, whichever Turkey they give a fuck about America, obviously. It says which European leaders had hope. Daughter European, Ankara. It says would cap rifts within the military alliance. Trump reignited the dispute with Spain, calling it a terrible partner, and made renewed claims on Greenland. See there? So if them want running on Greenland, you know what that gonna cause? You see me? Basically European Union, right? Was it Denmark? Denmark is basically we call Greenland is a colony of Denmark. So if Trump want to take that, according to him, that again gonna reignite tensions. Right? It says although he later changed tack and said there had been love and a lot of unity at the gathering, which Trump is just a maniac. If I want, I can read this. I'm not going to read the whole light. Right, but we'll see where it's leading up to that inevitable. Right, let's get two precepts real quick. Get the famous revelation. But just before, I want to get Habakkuk 2 and 3 says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. By the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So all of the moves we are making are ultimately going to lead to indeed these nations eating the war, right? Revelation 17 and 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, which then again go back to European Union, says, these shall hate the war, America, Babylon the Great, says, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, right? It says, for Yahweh had put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Shai, shall be fulfilled, right? So it's the Most High ultimately that's actually orchestrating this, as is written. The Yahweh power force muster the host of the battle. So the Most High is the one that's setting the shit up, right? And we know the words that come out from the Most High more in our return on Team Void. So yeah, World War III gonna play it, and yeah, these nations gonna ultimately, as Scripture saying, Gog, right? Russia today, and his many people with him, right? Them alliance gonna basically what? Think an evil thought. To ultimately destroy this war and them fake Jews over there, yeah? And that's how seen playing out in the world right now. Such prophecy reigns supreme. So hope this is Elephant and Tilak out there, giving our praise to our power, how about Shemel Shai, about Shem Kakadash, the born restorer, and apostles of great millstone. Shalom to Fulek. Shalom.